All right, people. Today's episode is going to be sex talk. It's going to be sex talk 101, episode 18. Woo! Yeah! It's going to be about how to control your anger when you're in the presence of women and how to handle constructive criticism. Now, the one thing that these pickup artists and these dating coaches have failed to talk about in their 2.5 hour or 3.5 hour seminars or their pickup artists or their dating coach courses is they don't talk about the personification of anger, rage, or we can just sum it up as we know it today in pop culture, sexual frustration. See, I gotta make out 5 reasons on why men get mad, and then I gotta explain what could be the answer on how to fix the having how people say you got anger management issues. Like I'm gonna use myself for an example. As an introvert, a lot of us get angry when people misunderstand us, or when somebody tells us you need to make a certain correction. And you see, a lot of women love to pick at men when they're angry and frustrated. Women love to be like scientists and examine. Oh, this guy's got a problem. I can't let him take me out to lunch and dinner because he look like one of those angry mad types that might get a baseball bat and go Ice Cube or shit. Remember how Ice Cube was mad that he didn't get his money when he left NWA? And he did that album Natural Born Killers. When you see the movie Straight Outta Compton, when Ice Cube came in there and tore the place up with a baseball bat, that level of anger. Now, you see, some women, not all, because I don't want no one saying he said all. I don't want the all police to come up in here and prosecute me just for telling the truth. See, but here's the truth. Some women, not all, some women are stupid. Some women watch too much television and too many Hollywood movies. There is no such thing of a guy being mad and nice at the same time. It does not officially exist. We're going to examine the 5 reasons why a man gets angry and why his anger turns into rage. You've seen Star Wars. And Yoda said it best. The anger, pain leads, anger leads to suffering. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Because there's 3 stages of anger, is what basically Yoda is saying. And Yoda's saying when you let your emotions run wild and they get out of control, that is the path to the dark side. So that's why I'm using Yoda from Star Wars as a reference. Because men from the age of 18 to 29 are sexually frustrated. Because it ain't just you're not getting laid. You're not having sex with a woman or women. Because some guys like to have sex with 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women. And then there are some guys that just want to be with one woman. And that's going to lead into a future YouTube video. Yes, it will. You see, I had a little argument. I don't want to say argument with YouTuber Zach Deloney, but I would call it a alpha male, a beta male discussion, where he argues you can't get rid of social media because that would be just madness. And I was trying to explain to him that would actually be a huge help for a lot of men who are struggling in dating game. And you see, from his point of view is, well, they'll look at it as you just don't want to play the game. So I look at it like, so what you're saying is it's okay for a woman to give a man a fake phone number and play mind games with him, but when a guy decides to pick up a gun and go on a murderous shooting spree, then it's the sky's gone insane. The sky's gone mad. See, there goes that word again, mad. And I'm kind of like in my head, like in this debate, like, yeah, you do make some strong, valid points. You do bring up some logical sense. but you miss the big picture because men have feelings, men have emotions. And how would you feel if somebody played a game with you and you did not like playing games? And you see, this is what happens when you get a person that sees one point of view, but they don't look at both points of views. And you see here in this video, we're going to talk about anger. We're going to talk about what are the 5 reasons that make a man mad, to make a man say, "The hell with the shit." Because I feel like pickup artists and dating coaches intentionally on purpose deliberately don't talk about this in their seminars. And you see, the more a man gets more frustrated, it's not healthy. It causes health problems. There's heart attacks, there's strokes, there's heart disease, all because you get angry. And some men lash out because they may not have the knowledge and the information of understanding of what they may be dealing with in today. Now, let's look at reason number 5. Reason number 5 is sexual frustration. Just the idea that you can't get laid in itself makes you angry. You put in all that hard work, you put in all that time, all that effort, and you get rejected 1 year. Okay, so that's just 1 year. But then you get rejected 2 years. Okay, that's just 2 years. You get rejected 3 years. You're okay, you're calm, that's 3. But then all of a sudden you get rejected 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Before you know it, it's 7 damn years that you've been getting rejected over and over and over. And you see, they say in theory, or it's actually having to be proven fact, that whenever you get rejected by women or by a job, let's say you go to a job interview, right? And let's say that the reason why they won't hire you is because there's something in your resume that's a red flag. Like there's something that's been put out there that kind of says we could hire you, but there's this thing we got to talk about, and I want to bring it to your attention because it's an issue for us that if we do hire you, we want to know if you're aware of it and can you fix it? Can you correct that flaw? And number 5 is sexual frustration. And usually a lot of times women bring this up in conversations with guys. Well, one of my things that I'm a little concerned about is your financial status. Are you making some money? Are you living well? Do you have 1 job? Do you have 2 jobs? Do you have 3 jobs? Do you have your own business? And usually a lot of guys do not like when women ask that question because it's easy for a woman to say, well, if it's taking you 30 to 60 seconds, or if it's taking you 2 minutes to answer that question, then I presume the answer is no. And a guy might go, well, I do have a 9-to-5 job. I just don't feel comfortable with you asking me, do I make money or not? Because I don't think that should be important in a conversation. That's what I would say, or you would say as a man. But a woman goes, well, I just want to know if you got money or not. So that's the 5th reason why a guy would get frustrated. So actually, technically, that's actually reason number 4. So number 5 would be sexual frustration, which leads to number 4. Number 3, which I already mentioned already, is a flaw. Now, you see, when women pick out the flaw, it is kind of rude and disrespectful for the vast majority of women to do that, because when you pick out a man's flaw where he's not perfect, it's like, come on now. It's not like this guy was born perfect. And that's why I said not all, but you have a vast majority of women that are stupid, that watch too much television, and they watch too many Hollywood films. Because there's no such thing of being perfect. There's no such thing of you're a man and you're just born perfect. Because if that was the case, no man on this planet Earth would be getting rejected. And unfortunately, you got a lot of men, not just me. You got more men worse than me that get rejected. And you see, number 3 is women pick out your flaws because it's easy for a woman to, how should I call this? In sports, they call it elimination of process. Elimination of process. That means they can get rid of you because it's one less man to deal with that is not an alpha male. So if the woman don't find you physically, sexually attractive, she can just do a process of elimination, and the way she does that is she pick out your flaws. So that's number three. The number two reason why men, and this don't matter if you're a black man, a white man, an Asian man, or a Latino man. You could be from Russia. You could be from Germany. This is for all men, okay? Number two is you put in so much time and effort. You put in so much work into something that when you get told no, you don't just get told no. You get told no about 5 to 10 times by one woman. It could be 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women can tell you no 5 to 10 times. And a lot of times you might say to yourself, what did I do wrong? And what did I do to deserve this? You know, like, explain to me your definition reason of saying no so many times when I feel like I put in so much time and effort and work into something. And usually about 90% of the time the woman usually would kind of like, well, I'm not gonna give the answer because you know the answer to that question. And that leads us to the number one reason why a man gets angry and pissed off. Number one is most of us, and I say most of us, do not know how to handle rejection. Now, I made a YouTube video like about 3 months ago called Rejected by Hot Women. And that's a YouTube video you might want to watch again and again and again. The reason why I brought it up in this video is because this is about anger. Now, when a woman does reject a man and a man gets mad, what if I told you in some cases you could have everything? The house, the car, the money, you got a house, you got 2 jobs, you got 3 jobs, you got a nice athletic body. You are physically, sexually attractive. You have conquered every challenge that there is been thrown at you. You have self-improved yourself. You have finally transformed from an beta male to an alpha male. You live by yourself. You don't live with mommy. You don't live with daddy. You know, you pay your own bills. If you have a house, you pay luxury tax, property tax. If you got an apartment, you pay rent. You got 2 jobs or 3 jobs or whatever. Or you got a private business. And there's just one little thing that's standing between you and your destiny. How do you control your anger if you get rejected by a beautiful, attractive woman? And like I said in my last video, it ain't just women that's high class or middle class that's doing this. You got some women that's low class that does this. And guess what? A lot of times you can get rejected just because you have anger issues. Like most women will look at a man and say, what's that man's problem? Okay, the girl says she's not interested in you and she don't find you physically, sexually attractive. So why is he taking it personal? Because that man doesn't like putting in all this hard work and dedication, and the woman said no to him. And the man feel like it's rude and disrespectful because I put in all this hard work. I put in 5 years of hard work and dedication, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of hard work and dedication. And after putting that much work and that much effort into something, I shouldn't hear no. And the answer is, you're correct. You should not hear no if you put in 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, especially if you put in a decade of work. You should not hear no. But you're going to hear no whether you want to or not. Now that I explained to you the 5 reasons on why a man gets mad, let's talk about how do we take this one little problem that we have as men and how do we fix it. Some meditate. Some men actually sit down and they actually meditate. Like you see how Darth Vader does meditation in the Star Wars films, the original Star Wars films. You know, Star Wars A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back, he did it a whole lot. He meditated. You know, not too much in Return of the Jedi, but in Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader did a lot of meditating. You know, Yoda meditated. You know, a lot of the Jedi's, they all do meditation. Now, let's talk about, if you're not a fan of meditation, there is martial arts. When I was a kid, I used to always do martial arts, and my sensei used to always tell me anger is the most powerful energy in the universe. It can make you do great things, or it can make you do terrible things in this world. It can make you, or it can break you. And he used to tell me that if you're not in control of yourself, when you go out into the real world and you go on a job interview and there's you and 7 other guys competing for a job and they choose somebody over you despite the fact you have better qualifications, you let your anger get the best of you. So martial arts can help you. Martial arts can be a stress reliever. Now, that don't mean you go out in the real world and you knock somebody's head off, or you turn into Goku or Vegeta or Bruce Lee. You use martial arts as a stress reliever. Another stress reliever is going to the gym. Just doing 30 minutes to an hour of cardio and weight training can fix that problem. So martial arts, going to the gym. Basketball, depending on who you play basketball with. Swimming. Swimming can relax the body. Like, I've heard swimming is a more powerful effect because if you do the combination of swimming and meditation, it eases your anger. You're not as angry or pissed off. The next one is music. You can use classical music, music that comes from the movies. Like all the movie soundtracks, like Man of Steel, that got some songs in there where, yeah, it does feel like there's a war going on. But if you use songs that motivate you and inspire you, that can ease your pain and suffering. That's how you can fix your anger problem. Another thing that can help you with when it comes to anger, we can look at poetry, writing. You can use that to your advantage. I might come back and make a part 2, and I might tell you what is the difference between when men get mad and when women get mad, so you guys can get a compare and contrast video. So this is part 1 of the video. But yeah, this video is for men that are from the age of 18 to 29 that are pissed off at the world, and they always take their anger and frustration out on other people, and I'm giving you ways on how to fight and control your anger.